One of these songs was named after a deodorant brand, and the singer who wrote it had no idea that's what he was actually referencing. This is Pop Chronicles, and today we're counting down the 15 biggest songs of the 1990s. The movie theme the director almost refused to include, the grammatically broken lyric that became a global boy band anthem, and the flop the BBC banned before it went on to define an entire genre. If you can name 10 of these before we hit number 1, this was clearly your decade. Let's get into it. Number 15. Wannabe, Spice Girls, 1996. 5 members, barely rehearsed, and a producer who reportedly captured the vocal in essentially one take. This was the song that introduced the entire world to girl power, before that phrase was even a phrase yet. It became the fastest rising debut single by a female group in UK chart history at the time, launching the Spice Girls into a level of global fame few pop acts have matched since. If you wanna be my lover, you gotta get with my friends. That opening spoken word intro became one of the most quoted lines of the entire decade, instantly recognizable from the very first second. A song thrown together fast, turned into one of the defining pop culture moments of the 1990s. Number 14. Ironic, Alanis Morissette, 1996. This song has been endlessly picked apart for decades over one specific complaint. Almost none of the situations described in the lyrics are technically, literally ironic.
Isn't it ironic?
Critics and grammar-obsessed fans have debated it for 30 years. A black fly in your Chardonnay, rain on your wedding day, situations that are unfortunate, sure, but not exactly textbook irony. None of that debate stopped it from becoming one of the defining anthems of Jagged Little Pill, an album that sold over 30 million copies worldwide. Maybe it's not ironic, but it's still one of the most argued about lyrics of the entire decade. And isn't that a little ironic anyway?
No smoking sign.
Number 13. MMM Bop, Hanson, 1997. 3 brothers, the youngest barely 11 years old at the time of recording, wrote and performed this entirely themselves. No outside songwriting team required. It became a genuine global number 1, a rare case of young teenagers writing their own breakout hit, rather than performing material handed to them by a label. Despite being dismissed by some critics as a novelty at the time, the song's harmonies and structure have since been reassessed by musicians as far more sophisticated than it was originally given credit for. 3 kids, 1 summer, and a chorus that refused to leave anyone's head for the rest of the decade. Number 12. Basket Case, Green Day, 1994. Billy Joe Armstrong wrote this song directly about his own experience with panic attacks and anxiety, at a time when mainstream rock rarely addressed mental health so plainly. It came off Dookie, an album recorded on a shoestring budget that ended up selling over 10 million copies, dragging punk rock out of underground clubs and straight onto mainstream radio. The line, "Am I just paranoid?" became a genuine touchstone for listeners who'd never heard their own anxiety described that directly in a hit song before. A confession about panic attacks became one of the biggest sing-alongs of the entire decade. Number 11. Killing Me Softly, The Fugees, 1996. This was originally Roberta Flack's Grammy-winning ballad from over 2 decades earlier, a song about being emotionally exposed by watching a stranger perform. Lauryn Hill reworked it completely, delivering the vocal over a hip-hop production built partly from a sample of A Tribe Called Quest's Bonita Applebum, bridging 2 completely different eras of music. It introduced an entire generation who'd never heard the original to a song that was suddenly, decades later, brand new again. A ballad about vulnerability got reborn as a hip-hop classic, and somehow lost none of its original power in the process. Number 10. Losing My Religion, R.E.M., 1991. The title isn't about faith at all. It's an old Southern expression meaning to lose your temper, to reach the absolute end of your patience. Just a dream that's me in the corner. It's built almost entirely around a mandolin riff, an instrument almost nobody expected to hear driving a mainstream rock hit at the top of the charts. I haven't said enough. It became R.E.M.'s biggest hit, an unlikely crossover moment for a band that had spent most of the prior decade deliberately avoiding anything close to mainstream pop. A band that ran from the spotlight for years accidentally wrote the song that pulled them straight into it. Number 9. Nothing Compares to You, Sinead O'Connor, 1990. Prince wrote this song originally, tucked away for a side project called The Family, that barely anyone heard. It sat there, mostly forgotten, for years. Sinead O'Connor found it, and delivered a vocal so raw and stripped down that it completely eclipsed the original version. Most listeners today have no idea Prince wrote it at all. Its music video, filmed in a single continuous close-up shot with O'Connor visibly crying on camera, became one of the most iconic and imitated images in music video history. A song written by one artist and buried for years became inseparable from a completely different one the moment she opened her mouth. Number 8. Livin' La Vida Loca, Ricky Martin, 1999. Co-written by Draco Rosa and Desmond Child, this song exploded so fast and so completely that it's widely credited with kicking off what's now called the Latin pop explosion of 1999. It hit number 1 in the US, helping open the door for a wave of Latin artists who broke into mainstream American pop in the years immediately following. Its horn-driven, frantic energy stood in sharp contrast to almost everything else on pop radio at the time. One song didn't just launch a career, it helped launch an entire mainstream movement. Number 7. Waterfalls, TLC, 1995. This song tackled subjects most pop hits avoided completely: the AIDS crisis, drug dealing, and the real consequences of chasing danger, wrapped inside one of the most polished pop productions of the decade. Its music video was one of the most expensive ever made at the time, using groundbreaking visual effects to bring the song's warnings to life on screen. Despite the song and album selling tens of millions of copies worldwide, TLC famously filed for bankruptcy shortly afterward, the result of an infamously unfavorable record contract. one of the biggest hits of the decade, and one of the clearest warnings the music industry ever gave itself about how it treated its own artists. Number 6. I Want It That Way. Backstreet Boys, 1999. Producer Max Martin wrote this song's melody first, and the lyrics almost as an afterthought. English wasn't his first language, and the lyrics have famously made little literal grammatical sense for decades. Members of the group have said in interviews they still can't fully explain what the lyrics are actually about, and it never mattered to a single fan. It became the group's signature song and one of the best-selling singles of the boy band era, an era this song basically defined on its own. Nobody can explain what it means. Everybody can sing every word. Number 5. Wonderwall. Oasis, 1995. Noel Gallagher wrote this song's title with a possible nod to George Harrison's 1968 film and soundtrack, Wonderwall Music, a quiet homage buried inside one of the biggest songs of the decade. Despite Gallagher's own mixed feelings about the song over the years, and despite decades of listeners misunderstanding or mishearing the lyrics entirely, it became Oasis's most enduring and most covered track. You should have somehow realized what you're not to do. It's been played by buskers on every street corner in the world so many times that Gallagher has joked he wishes he'd never written it. And all the lights that light the way are blind. A quiet nod to George Harrison became the song an entire generation learned their first 3 guitar chords on. Anybody feels the way I do about you now. Number 4. Creep, Radiohead, 1992/1993. Whatever you want. BBC Radio 1 initially refused to play this song at all, calling it too depressing for daytime rotation, an early rejection that nearly buried the band before they'd even properly started. I want you to notice. It found new life after catching on in Israel and then across Europe, eventually looping back to break through in the UK and US on the strength of college radio and word of mouth. It became Radiohead's biggest commercial hit, and, famously, a song the band grew to resent, refusing to play it live for long stretches of their own career. Skin makes me cry. A song a radio station once called "too depressing to air" became the song that defined an entire band's identity, whether they wanted it to or not. I want a perfect body. Number 3. Baby One More Time. Britney Spears, 1998. Written and produced by Max Martin, this song helped launch an entire era of teen pop, and its music video, with Britney Spears in a schoolgirl uniform in a hallway, became one of the most iconic and most parodied images of the decade. It hit number 1 around the world, turning a 17-year-old from Louisiana into one of the biggest pop stars on the planet almost overnight. How was I supposed to know? It kicked off a wave of teen pop dominance that would define the very end of the decade and the years immediately following it. One video, one hallway, one uniform, and pop music's entire direction shifted for years afterward. Number 2. My Heart Will Go On. Celine Dion, 1997. Director James Cameron initially didn't want any song with vocals playing over Titanic's end credits at all. He thought it would undercut the film's emotional weight. Producer James Horner wrote the melody in secret and eventually convinced Cameron to at least listen to a demo before making a final decision. Celine Dion herself was reportedly hesitant to record it, worried it might flop like other film themes had before. It became one of the best-selling singles of all time, inseparable from one of the highest-grossing films ever made. A song nobody involved was originally sure about became the sound of an entire era's biggest movie moment. Number 1. Smells Like Teen Spirit, Nirvana, 1991. Kurt Cobain scrawled the title on a friend's wall after being told it referenced a deodorant called Teen Spirit. He had genuinely no idea it was a real product and thought it was just a cool-sounding phrase. Recorded for Nevermind on a modest budget, nobody involved, not the band, not the label, expected it to become anything close to a mainstream phenomenon. Once MTV started airing it in heavy rotation, it detonated grunge into the mainstream almost overnight, effectively ending the dominance of glam rock and hair metal within months. A song named after a deodorant the singer didn't even know existed ended up defining the sound of an entire generation. That's the 1990s. 15 songs, 15 stories behind a decade everyone thinks they've already heard everything about. Subscribe to Pop Chronicles and tell me in the comments which one you had absolutely no idea about.